23rd, 2025. Today I went over and I was hoping where I'd ask Officer Marco John to go talk to Danny or my grandson Daniel. He had told me the first of the week that somebody had done something bad to him and he couldn't talk about it. And we started talking about what he had learned in history. And he said he needed to learn his rights. I said, well, if you learn your rights, people can't scam you. People ran horrible scams on me. Horrible ones. And if you know the law, you know they can't do it. And then when they tell you they did something else to you, you can Google it. They can't do it. They're lying. They can do it. And I told him about policing agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements in a court order without a conflict of interest. He looked at me and said, then I need to rethink what I've been told. See, with me keeping them out of everything, these predators, including Dixie, have been running their mouth about the scam and telling them and feeding them how they can hurt me. Badmouth me, Dave, all of them for years. Running their scam on me to turn people against me. So me not standing up for myself, how they can't do any of this, the only thing it did is give them more power. Waiting for you to get all the drug dealers. And when I asked you yesterday to go talk to him, that I was concerned, because when I took Daniel out yesterday, I said, are you doing any better? He said, I can't talk about what happened, but I'm not over it. Well, Dixie's been going over there running her mouth how she's going to steal Carl's money, steal money from the government, and how she's part of this big scam. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and special permission and all this out. There's no such thing. And running her mouth. You know, me staying quiet, the only thing it did is give them more authority over their lies. That they could actually do this to me and get away with it. Me staying quiet, the only thing it did was give them more authority over my grandkids to control them with their lies. That's all it did. Trying to let you get all these drug dealers. So, today I went over to Danny's. I took him outside and I told him that Daniel said somebody did something bad to him. He can't talk about it. Asked him even yesterday, he said he's still not over it. He can't talk about it. I said he may be being bullied. I said I even told him how I was scammed. And people were bullying me. And then if you look at the law and they can't do anything. We went in and we sat down. And I said, well, you know, their scams are so unbelievable. It takes a little common sense. Think about, they can't do anything. I said, my friend that used to work at the prosecutor's office is a big fraud scheme, what people did to me. I said, one of their scams was having a dirty doctor that is not one of mine take me unaware saying da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And they had to have him drug me and tell me to say it. Like an investigator said, that would be a assault with a deadly weapon. He's like, yeah. I said, there's HIPAA violations, privacy acts. No doctor can touch you unless you sign consent. He said, well, of course they can't. I said, it's because of HIPAA and privacy acts, they can't even take you unaware. And I said, if they touch you and you haven't signed consent, it is medical malpractice, medical negligence, and assault and battery. I was like, name a dirty doctor because someone was hurting me. I said, that's even where the prosecutor's office, you had all those bruises throwing up and almost passing out. Somebody was hurting you. It's like, name a dirty doctor. I want to be a millionaire. So I'm going to sue that dirty doctor and I'll win. He started laughing. I said, remember years ago when I asked you if you knew about that weird Eric all the tapes before were me and not her? It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it for all these people to turn on and they fell for it. He said, I remember that. I said, you guys didn't know about it. He's like, no. I said, the investigators called these people dumb for trying it. Just like the dirty doctor scam, because it's so illegal to have a doctor do it. It's not even admissible. And they go to jail regardless. And the shower scene in the other room and stocking tapes? Nope. And I said, these people try to tell people they had special permission. There's no such thing. I said they were lying and lying. And I said they were running around lying. And I said, did you know about Michelle, the young blonde girl? He said, I didn't know anything about no young blonde girl. I said, oh, she was involved. Dixie knew who she was. I asked her. I said some investigator was dating her on a rouge, got her to confess that doctor wasn't one of mine, but worked for them, and they had lied he was one of mine, and then he broke up with her. He started laughing. I said she was so mad. Carl seen her, April 17th, 25. She had a bad habit of following me around. She walks out and she's parking lot in Hartville. The big investigators' cars driving around. She's so mad, she's yelling it across the parking lot because that guy broke up with her. He started laughing. How dumb was she confessing that? About the doctor not being one of mine, that he had works for them and they had lied and I could all end up in jail for this. He started laughing. I said they showed up and said, how dumb are these people? She was so mad, she was yelling in the parking lot. I thought, not just dumb confessing to an agent, you just confessed under police surveillance. You try to run a scam on somebody, the cops are going to get you. I said, Carl's banker said that the cartel has got thousands of people's IDs, running scams on thousands and thousands of people in this area. He said, I don't doubt it. I said, when they have a dirty doctor working for them, do you know what you can get out of a hospital? Name, social, birthday, addresses. Boom, IDs. I said, it's not one of mine. I don't even know who it is, but somebody was hurting me. I had bruises, throwing up, and almost passing out. It's like, name a dirty doctor. I want to be a millionaire. We got a retirement plan here. Because it's illegal for them to even touch you. He's like, I know it is. I said, but people were running around with him. Like they could even use a drugged up confession. I never seen her talk to anybody. It's not my doctor. But they were laughing that they had some doctor do it to me. It's like, name a dirty doctor. He said, really? I said, I don't know. He said, I know you would. See, you put common sense to their lies. I said, like my friend from the prosecutor's office. It's a fraud scheme. You put common sense to their lies. They can't do any of it. Danny said that Daniel didn't even get out of bed today. Wouldn't go to school. 4 o'clock, it's not even 8. I told him, I said, you need to get him counseling. I'm not joking. He said he would not go back to school. See, where they keep selling the login, teenagers, because you guys sell your dirty doctor scam. How would you like to be a teenager and someone running a hate crime on your family member? And that evil call, oh, I made sure that I said it loud enough for Tyler to hear in his room. That there's no such thing as special permission. I said these people had some guy named retired Judge Peters from Florida. Him and 100 men went to jail in 22 for this. They made up a scam of a retired Judge Pete and Ravenna, friends with Ludick and Stephen. They didn't even know who he was. It's just some guy. They were lying to get away with crimes. I said the cartel run scams on people up there. They mailed out arrest warrants to people. They did. It was right on their webpage trying to get 80 grand out of people. And they were signed by a Judge Paul and an Officer Thomas. There's no Judge Paul, no Officer Thomas. They were trying to scam people out of money. I said there was an Andrew Darabic up there, had like 7 to 10 victims. They were on scams on people up there. Now they're doing it down here. But I had to talk with Danny about all the different scams they were pulling on me. That of a dirty doctor they hired to keep me unaware, saying da 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 da. I said I didn't even know what they were talking about. And they finally confessed. It was never one of my doctors, but works for them. They were using him to drug me. Name a dirty doctor. I will own them. They can't do that. He's like, no, they can't. I made sure Tyler could hear, so that they realize that church is lying. Get it? And Dixie? Yeah. See, another one of their scams, that they took their unadmissible stocking tapes done by drug dealers on special permission that they made up on their own to break in, drug me up and tell me, have a dirty doctor drug me up and tell me to say something stupid. Don't even know who it is. Have me being raped under drugs, so I just wake up like that and not know what happened to me. And photoshopped her washing yourself in the shower in another room. In a drug scam. That they entered their stocking tapes in court without me. Supposed to have found me guilty. Nobody told me. And some judge signed over my informant money and everything I have to them, and nobody told me. That's a bunch of hawking bullshit. No coerced confession is admissible. It's right on Google. You cannot enter stocking tapes, the right of privacy. You can arrest somebody for doing it to them, though. No doctor can tape you unaware because of the Privacy Act and HIPAA. Makes it not admissible because of the right to privacy also. They cannot break in and drug you and lie. They have sodium pentothal reports and be hired by a guy trying to kill his wife in his occult. To have that woman drugged for a fake confession. It's not even one of his patients. Just be hired to go in and be basically the drug dealer. And human traffic that poor woman under drugs. They go to jail for that. Told Danny, I said, them stabbing me with date rape drugs, it could even be considered an attempt to murder. I said, investigator Carl's like, I heard him say that it's considered assault with a deadly weapon. It's assault and battery. There's HIPAA. There's medical malpractice, medical negligence. It's like, name a dirty doctor. I want to be a millionaire. You want to say you hired a doctor to drug me up that wasn't one of mine? I will own that dirty doctor. There's a retirement plan here. So, you can't enter it, but you can put them in jail for doing it to me. It is right in the Constitution. It's like the 7th or 8th Amendment that a judge cannot sign over something everybody has. It takes a jury trial. It is illegal for a doctor just to sign over somebody's assets to someone. It's illegal. It also says no, in the 14th Amendment, no money or assets will be taken but due process of the law. And then in the 7th or 8th Amendment, that it cannot be awarded by a judge but a jury trial. It is illegal for a judge to award it to an individual. So you do not have a court order to get my money. That is a lie. Just like them entering their stocking tapes in court without me, they found me guilty and nobody told me. That is a flat out lie. You have to be tried. For you to actually have charges, they have to go to the police. The police have to investigate. They have to talk to you. You have to give your amendments. They think they have enough. They take it to the prosecutor's office. They subpoena you to be there. And you have a right to an attorney to represent you. And then they're taken in front of a judge where you're placed charges on. If everything's admissible. Then you have to go to court or do a plea deal. You have to have a jury trial and be found guilty or innocent or do a plea deal. Or the charges don't stick. You get it? There's laws. You can't railroad people. And it's just like Agent John, where they told him to act dumb as these people to find out who's all involved. Like that lady agent said, they walked into an FBI office and confessed they already knew. She called the FBI. They told Agent John to go tell another church. He was seen by hundreds telling on me before he talked to me. Confessed on a recorded line that he met with all the church people in the Vegas. That he knew they were trying to kill me because strangers alive called me a faker, laughed at me several times. Was extremely cruel on a recorded line. Made fun of me for some guy named Pete, how he's scamming me, and I didn't even know who he was talking about. Still don't even know. 100%, even at this point. Made fun of me for some doctor, and I thought it was the lady that used my insurance. And to find out it was Dave's girlfriend using my insurance, but here it's just a whole scam. See, I didn't even know what he was talking about. Why had some lady use my insurance? And I thought maybe it was one of her medical bills. And then I found out it was Dave's girlfriend from before me using my insurance. Half my medical records are hers. They were scamming me the whole time. So, I don't know who it is. Like Michelle said, March 27th, 25, to an undercover agent. The reason I don't know who that doctor is, he's not one of mine. They had lied. He was one of mine. He works for them. And she doesn't even know who he is. So he sounded like a lunatic to me, okay? Made me beg for my life, then listen to me and inform me. He's already confessed he talked to everyone. Everybody knows they're involved. And then says, if you tell someone, the FBI won't help you, but everybody already knows. Like they said, a criminal attorney, prosecutor's office in place. He was only bullying you. It was illegal for him to even bully you. He was only bullying you. But the FBI won't help you, and I'll tell people you're crazy. He can't do that. Criminal attorney, prosecutor's office, police. Oh, and Grant's friend that's an FBI agent in another office. He doesn't even have an authority. He is only a higher police officer. Due to the freedom of speech, it takes a judge to put a gag order on you. Police do not have the authority to tell you can't say anything. And then when they've already confessed they told everybody, then it's stupid. And like my friend from the prosecutor's office, he's only bullying you. Even a criminal attorney said it. Grant's friend that's an FBI agent. He can't tell people they can't say anything. It takes a judge. He's only a higher police officer. You don't have that kind of authority. Then he's already told, then it's stupid. And he can't tell people they can't help me. 14th Amendment cannot withhold protection. And he didn't say no one could help me. The cartel lied. They made that up, not Agent John. And then he can't even say it. He was only bullying me. See what I mean? He was told to act dumb. Act. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office, you can tell whatever you want. He didn't even open his mouth. You get the money for risking your life to get them information. It's for working the case only. Criminal attorney said that too. Oh, and Grant's friend, that's an FBI agent, said the same thing. If she honestly didn't get her money, the only one that could steal that money is that agent. And he's probably got somebody in the office covering him. Because the only one that could actually steal it is him. He can't give it to Michelle. He can't give it to someone else. He can't withdraw it. Even a criminal attorney said it. It's assigned to you for working this case. It's for risking your life to get information for him. It's like when, let's see, our military goes out and fights a war. They come home, they get VA benefits. Can an FBI agent steal his VA benefits? No. Nor can they steal informant money for people risking their life to get the government information. I was left in a war zone, basically. Held in a basically concentration camp sent up by that cartel and an occult. And raped and tortured, human trafficked, skull bashed in, beaten, raped, left for dead, almost shot in the head driving, had to hide on a shooting night, faced 6 stalkers, drugged till I lost 70 pounds. My God, I'm lucky to be alive. And they got thousands of drug cartel. Saved hundreds of children. Got a world terrorist off of this. I like my money. Because the only one that can steal it, Agent John, is you. And you can't make up your own authority. It can't be in the court order. See, even like my friend from the prosecutor's office, criminal attorney and police I talked to, it can't be in a court order. No judge could sign it. The Department of Justice or state would put him in jail. Because of the freedom of speech, only a judge in a jury trial can take your freedom of speech away. Police and agents can't put gag orders on you. It's illegal. We all know it takes a judge. He was only bullying me. He was to act as dumb as these people. Now I'd like my money. I'm not joking. You know what's really sad? With them selling the login and the FBI letting them let this case be made public in front of everyone. Children, the FBI betrayed her. The FBI let her live through all that and didn't even pay her. Do you know how you look like white-collar criminals victimizing victims and stealing from them? I'd like my money. You know, Officer John and Mark, I thought one of you guys would have went over and talked to Danny. This whole thing's a drug scam. Everybody knows it's a drug scam, but him. And his family. And you know the only thing from they already knew the FBI was involved. Dave told them years ago. Told Danny that when I walked off, he talked to that agent up at that church. And did the dirty doctor scam. No, actually, he said it was some guy named Pete. Because I told you, on April 16, 23, Nikki's memorial service, Danny's wife, Jen, her mom died, and there was a memorial service. I go to leave. And I walk out to the car, and where I've been telling about that weird Eric. You know, confessing all the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it. My idea to say it for all these people turn on her, and they fell for They didn't know about it. Well, like, I heard Danny across the parking lot. I finally went to Dad. Asked him what on earth is going on. He said he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. It was Pete and his men in my home before. Pete has her frame. Pete has her tape saying da-da-da, the filthy, dirty statement. Some guy named Pete. Some guy named Pete did it. Where I woke up with bruises, it was the guy he hired. Him and his men, the drug cartel. Where they keep saying a doctor did it to her before. Dave told Danny it was some guy named Pete he hired on his own. Him and his men. Now they had me framed. I don't know who he is. Then you got to think of their scam. Some Jack the Ripper, drug cartel, doctor, serial rapist, breaking in private homes, drugging women up that aren't his patients, tell them to say dirty stuff, have them beat and raped. You know what my joke was in the car today? Got rid of a lot of people real fast. It's like, what, Bill? Now, Bill from the Freemasons, people talked about him paying for all the harassment in 18 and 19. I went to go down to John's church between January and April 19, Sunday morning. I had extra time. I wanted to go and use the bathroom, get something to drink. I go in. I see the Freemasons trucks pull in. They've been showing up harassing me. I go in and two guys walk in. I look down. And one of them says, Bill. I glance out of the corner of my eyes. He's not a handsome man. Not a handsome man at all. Said, Bill, you've been paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay people to follow around, say and do stuff to her. Well, that's what they've been saying. You were the one paying for all this terrorism. She won't even look at you, and you told people you like her. You don't like me. You're trying to have me killed. No, I won't look at you. And you paid how many hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, everybody's been talking about Bill paying everybody still. He's supposed to be mega rich. Okay. Last year, people said Bill from the Freemasons was telling everybody he was an FBI agent. They had people look him up. He's no agent. Of course he's not. His initiation into the cartel. Now you want to hear my joke? So, Bill, you should have took your money and went to plastic surgeon. And then maybe you wouldn't take your hatred towards women and children and having women that you don't know drug, beat, and raped and run scam on and try to join a drug cartel to sell women and children. Maybe you wouldn't hate women and children if you went out and took care of yourself instead of harming people. Huh? I don't even know you, and I only seen you out of the glance of my eye. And you're not a handsome man, and I don't mean to be mean, but you are not a handsome man. And if you have to pay your dirty doctor friend to break in and drug some woman up and tell him to say something stupid, did he have you beat and rape me because you couldn't get a woman at the time? I met the woman you finally married, a young blonde girl. She probably married you for your money. Seriously, because what is there? Any kind of good character? No. Do you help people? No, you hurt and kill and rape. You're a terrorist. There is nothing good about you. Huh? Now, think about that. Somebody yesterday on Walmart West Test said they hired a neuropsychiatrist to break in and drug her up and tell her to say that stuff. They thought they had the right to do it. I had never even heard of a neuropsychiatrist. You know, I even Googled it last night to make sure there is even such a thing. Name a dirty doctor that's breaking in people's homes that are not his patients and drugging people up and telling them to say such evilness and having them beat and raped by the cartel. I will own him. And that doctor, it's 20 years for treating somebody who's not your patient. There's HIPAA, medical malpractice, medical negligence, and assault and battery, and assault with a deadly weapon. And because my left side of my heart doesn't pull enough blood and you made my heart race through my neck, it could be considered attempted murder, human trafficking, cyber stalking, sextortion. You want to keep going? You have no right to touch people that are not your patients. Who the hell do you think you are, Jack the Ripper? First and last name, I will own you. You can't just break in people's homes and be hired by an occult that's trying to kill someone to run a drug scam on them. Are you the one selling everybody's personal information to the cartel to run scams on? Getting it out of hospitals? Names, addresses, socials, birthdays? so they could steal other people's money. Is it you? Choose your words carefully. First and last name people. Now, Officer John and Mark, would you like you to go to Agent John or go to the marshals? I'm going to be reporting this to the Department of Justice. The only one that could actually steal my money is Agent John. He's the only one. That's where Grant's friend, that's an FBI agent, the only one that could steal it is him. And he has someone in that office covering up for him. And they're stealing from cases. I like my money. I earned it 100 times over. It is not in a court order that I can't get it if I say something. Like a criminal attorney, that judge, and the prosecutor's office, that judge would go to jail for signing it. You can't make up your own rules, and you can't ask anybody to stay quiet. You don't have that kind of authority. You're not a judge. You're only bullying me. I like my money.